Hello, my name is Michael Piercy, and the name of this podcast slideshow is entitled Solar Vehicles. Solar-powered vehicles have been around since interest was stimulated initially when regular-sized gasoline cars were lowering their engine size in order to increase gas efficiency. Most of the initial solar vehicles were homemade and consisted of simple solar panels and electric motors. This, however, changed over time. For years there have been competitions in Australia held amongst solar vehicles and their racers. Ever since these competitions have been started, there have been many advances in the technology, and it is very near ready for everyday consumer use, as the technology for batteries and the price of the solar panels are becoming greatly consumer ready. The first step to explaining how solar technology could be used as a fuel source for transportation is to explain how solar panels work. Let's begin by taking a look into the inner workings of solar panels. Solar electricity is powered by photovoltaic technology, also known as PV. A single PV cell is made up of multiple layers of any semiconducting material. The most commonly material used is this of silicon. This is the same material used to make modern-day computer processors. As sunlight hits the semiconducting material, an electrical current is generated in the material, and this current can be carried away by a metal conductor attached to the cell to create a small DC power source. DC stands for direct current. The current carried away from a single cell is too small for any substantial use. This is why many of these PV cells are arranged into a connection to create a PV array, which is also called a PV panel, which is more familiar to most people. After the current is collected from the panel, it is sent through an inverter to convert the DC power to an AC power, which is most commonly used in modern electrical components. There are 4 main types of PV cells in production right now. They differ in materials that they are made of, their efficiency, and their cost of production. These 4 types of cells in order of efficiency go from monocrystalline silicon cells to multicrystalline cells to thick film silicon to amorphous silicon. Amorphous silicon is rather simple to make, and it is also rigid and flexible. This is the most efficient type of panels, but it allows for more useful applications. The next step in explaining solar vehicles is to examine the engines that use the AC and DC power supply from the PV panel. There are 2 types of electric engines. This is a DC electric motor. DC motors are more suited for speed enthusiasts. DC motors run off of a certain watt voltage, but for a short period of time, the DC motor will accept up to 10 times its rated wattage, and the output will be much more horsepower than usual. This causes a great amount of heat, however, to build up and could cause problems. This is an AC electric motor. AC motors for cars can basically be made from any industrial 3-phase AC motor. This flexibility and availability makes finding the right engine for the vehicle design much easier. Most AC motors also have a regen feature. This means that when the car is braking, the engine turns into a generator and puts the energy lost in braking right back into the batteries. The final step to explaining solar cars is contained in the energy storage technology. There are 2 main methods being researched right now. The first is the lithium-ion battery. Lithium-ion batteries are the same batteries that are used in most MP3 players today. They can be recycled very efficiently, and they can be recharged many times without losing any capacity. The battery system used for these cars would consist of many smaller batteries, however, as you can see in the picture. The second technology is that of the ultracapacitor. Ultracapacitors have the same basic layout as any regular capacitor. Ultracapacitors have no waste when they are recycled. They basically never degenerate after repeated use, and they are very environmentally friendly. This is the technology most being looked into right now due to its cheap and easy production and excellent lifespan. The environmental side is also a nice addition. To wrap things up, I believe that solar cars have a very strong possibility for the future. I do not believe that these cars can solely be provided with power from built-in solar panels. But, as you can see, many people have already made these vehicles that can. But these panels would greatly increase the reliability and ease of electric cars. In combination of the electric car and the solar cars being researched, I believe the perfect alternative fuel vehicle exists. It is just a matter of time before researchers prove the same point. Soon enough, solar panels and regenerative brakes will be built into every electric vehicle. Thank you.
Bye.